What is up guys, this is Shiro back with another video on the Redmi K20 Pro with the latest EvolutionX ROM, and here this is the 8th September 2021 build as you can see, and this update is quite latest and it has all the new things that you will expect with a software update on the EvolutionX. But the developer has already announced another update which is upcoming. As you can see, it says I'll make a follow-up update tomorrow, so yeah, do wait for that next update that will have all these 3 fixes and stuff. So yeah, just wait for that. But in the meantime, I have been using this ROM. Let me tell you my experience with this particular ROM on the Redmi K20 Pro. Jumping into the about section, this is how it looks like. It still has that EvolutionX logo up top, shows as Rafael as the device name, and the Android version of course shows as Android 11 still over here. Let me go back. The EvolutionX version is 5.9.2 Sanctuary official build, and the security patch here is latest of September 5th, 2021. So you get the latest security patch of this particular month. And the stock kernel here is the Soviet Star kernel, and the build date here again you can see 8 September 2021, and the build maintainer is still of course Joe Huab. And the FaceUnlock status shows as enforcing, and this particular ROM is the only one I think which is based on the Android 11 firmware, but with OSS vendor it comes with. Also, it has the ANX camera fully working when you flash it of course, and if you don't know how to flash the ANX camera, check out the card or the description. Yes, I have flashed this ANX camera separately with magic and stuff. If you don't know how to do it, just watch the video from the card or the description. On other ROMs too, other OSS ROMs too, you can flash ANX camera, but there it simply does not work well. Let me show you what things that won't work over there. So if you switch to the wide angle or ultra wide lens, you will see it just crashes, but here that is not the case. It works flawlessly. As you can see, all the ultra wide lenses kind of things is working super fine. Also the 2x telephoto works super fine. Also if you switch the portrait mode, it does not crash over here. As you can see, I am in the portrait mode and that is working fine. It does not crash the camera. I can also switch to the front camera if I want to, and as you can see, front camera portrait as well should be working super fine. And yes, let me actually take a photo. So yep, as you can see, the front camera portrait pictures are working totally fine. The selfies look really great with the front camera portrait mode on this ANX camera, no issues whatsoever. And in the mode settings, you will find more things like night and 48 megapixel mode and stuff. Let's try the 48 megapixel mode if that is working or not. So actually, as you can see, if you go into the detailed info, and over here it is actually working. It is a 6000 by 8000 picture. So yes, 48 megapixel pictures are also working fine here. And if you are noticing the details over here, as you can see, it shows HD preview over here. And if I zoom it out, just notice how much I have zoomed it in earlier. So yeah, the 48 megapixel mode is actually working over here, not a problem. In the watermark, it shows Redmi K20 Pro 48 megapixel triple camera photo. So yeah, 48 megapixel is not buggy over here. It is working flawlessly. So the ANX camera pretty much works amazingly well. And even in video settings, if you go, and here we get the 4K 60 FPS option. So that too actually works fine without any issues. And if you're using the ANX camera Pro app, and with that you can enable the Pro or manual video mode over here. With that you can control the ISO of your video and stuff. Then you can change the white balance as you would like it to be. So yeah, you can customize everything over here with this particular camera. You can take manual 4K 60 FPS videos over here. And if you don't know how to get this manual video recording and stuff, you can watch the ANX camera Pro kind of apps video that I have made separately. So yeah, everything about the ANX camera is working perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever that I have seen. So this is one of the best ROMs out there that is based on Android 11 firmware, and that actually has ANX camera working properly 100% all the way. Again, this was the ANX camera version 190R. Talking about the stock camera, well, it has this weird kind of looking camera, but yes, you can also take pictures with it. This is a Snapdragon kind of camera. Yes, this is the stock camera over here, but I have flashed the ANX camera separately. Also, I have installed this Google Camera Go, and with that, the Google Camera Go is working perfectly fine. As you can see, the front camera opens, and you can also take portrait pictures. And also with this, you can shoot videos if you want to. So yes, Google Camera is working perfectly fine. This is the Google Camera Go again, and it works great for basic simple pictures. Also, you can install the separate full Gcams that should work super fine here. I haven't installed them, but yes, they should work totally fine here. Now enough talking about the stock camera here. Now let me talk about the stock launcher. This is still the Pixel launcher where you swipe to the left and you get this Google's Discover page. Swiping down gets you to the quick setting or the notification panel. Swiping up gets you to the app drawer, and the widgets are working totally fine. By the way, in the settings of the stock launcher, we simply do not get the double tap to sleep in the home screen anywhere. Those things are simply missing, but of course you can double tap on the status bar to make the phone sleep, and that works super fine. And this is how the always on display looks like, because I have customized it. And on the lock screen it looks like this, and if you go to the always on display it looks like this. Of course you can change that. Now talking about the fingerprint scanner speed, I would say the fingerprint scanner has been super fast. I have had no issues whatsoever with the fingerprint scanner. Just notice the speed with the always on display. It unlocks very fast, and all the time it is very reliable fingerprint scanner experience, no issues whatsoever. Now let me show you up close with the lock screen fingerprint scanner speed, and as you can see from the lock screen to the fingerprint scanner does unlock. So yeah, very fast and snappy fingerprint scanner experience here. And in the quick setting panel you are still getting all those old things, and if you go into the edit icon you can add and edit multiple toggles like the NFC toggle, ambient display, etc. You can edit and add. If your device has NFC hardware you can use that from here, but this is a Redmi K20 Pro Indian edition, that's why it does not have the NFC hardware, so I did not add that toggle. Now talking about the toggles that I have added the battery saver, the dark theme, and the Android 11 screen recorder. With that I can record the device audio and the mic audio at the same time. Now we also have the hotspot, do not disturb, data saver, heads up nearby share, always on display. I can also disable that, and also there is a AOD on charge option, so whenever you are plugging in the device with the charger, that's when only the always on display will be turned on, and this feature actually works fine. Also we have the sound toggle. If you tap and hold on it we can get the volume panel just like this. Also just the volume panel toggle is there, and I have added that too just to show you guys. Now talking about the FPS info toggle, it does work. As you can see on the top left the FPS does appear, so while gaming or something it will be a lot more helpful, I would say. Also there is a reboot toggle, so you can directly reboot to the recovery if you tap and hold on it. Then there is a live display, and from here you can switch the display to the high brightness mode. As you can see right now it's on the outdoor bright sun mode. That's when you get the full brightness of the display. This is almost 1200-1300 nits I guess, and yeah, it is really bright. And we have the power menu option, then we have the night light, and the anti-flicker or the de-streaming mode is there, and it does work super fine. Now with the anti-flicker and the night light turned on at the same time, yes, if you increase or decrease the brightness, okay, so yeah, as you can see right now the night light has been disabled. So this bug is there when the anti-flicker mode is turned on, but yeah, you have to bear with it I guess, because this is a OSS vendor based ROMs issue in all the devices, not only on K20 Pro, even on devices like Redmi Note 10 Pro this bug is there. So yeah, when anti-flicker mode is turned on, night light may be a little bit fishy when you are reducing or increasing the brightness too frequently. Now jumping into the customization settings, yes, it still does have huge amount of customization. This is EvolutionX, so you get plethora of customizations, but I'm not going to show you everything, but let me show you some bits of it. We have these many lock screen clocks. I have been using it with the Android S style clock, but there is also the Android 12 and Android S DP3 and the Clock Artino Fluid and Fluid version 2. All these lock screen clocks are there, and just notice how many options are there. Plethora of options for the lock screen clocks that you will get. But of course I have been using it with the Android 12 lock screen clock, and with that when you have a notification it looks like this, and when you like clear the notifications, let me show you, it comes out with this like big kind of lock screen clock font. Looks very beautiful in my opinion. Also in the dark theme you do have the color bucket changing option, and all the like accent color picker and stuff. Whole UI customizations are there, and also the brightness slider style you can change that. I have been using it with the Android 12, that's why the brightness slider looks like this. You can have it on the bottom or on the top as you would like it. And we have the REY, AOSP, Oxygen OS, and the default style for that. And we have the volume panel style also, you can change that. By default the volume panel looks like this. I like the default one too. And we have the G visual mode. From here you can have the status bar height adjustment and stuff. All those things are there, and they have huge amount of customization. Again, we still have the MISC settings where you get the file transfer with the USB, and we have the buttons. Then navigation kind of customizations are there, and here if you go into the settings we have this gesture bar length, gesture bar radius, etc. customization, all those things. So yeah, I'm just gonna like go into the lock screen now, and let me tell you, there is no option for the always unlock with a fingerprint scanner over here. That I do miss coming from ROS pretty much. So yeah, there is no option for that, but the fingerprint scanner actually works perfectly fine here. No issues whatsoever with that. Now we still have the animated FOD icon, then you can change the animation of it. Now talking about the fingerprint scanner icons, these are the icons that are present over here, and yeah, they are still similar to the earlier builds of EvolutionX. And if you scroll down, we have this recognizing animation. I have been using it with the McLaren, but you can also go with the Cyberpunk 2077 or the other options. So yeah, again, huge amount of recognizing animations for the fingerprint scanners are there. In the system, we still have a system updater. So if you want to use this OT updater, you can, but my storage is decrypted. That's why I cannot simply use this updater. I have to flash fcrypt disable every time because I am decrypted over here with this particular ROM. Also in the system, in the front camera settings, we still have this front camera calibration, but right now, as you can see, it force stops. It does not work, this front camera calibration, I mean. So yes, that is mentioned that the developer will be fixing this in the future update, which is going to be coming in like a few days, 2 to 3 days maybe, and I think it will be sooner than that. And we have the front camera sound effects. All these sound effects are there, and the front camera raise dialog and the camera LED option is there. Now jumping into the battery settings, this is one of the most interesting feature for me, at least in this particular ROM, in the battery settings, because it has huge amount of things. Let me show you. If you tap here, you can see the full battery usage, and let me go back. It shows the percentage right here. And if you scroll down, we get the battery saver, the adaptive battery. Then we have the adaptive charging, where it will stop charging at 80%, 90%, whatever you set the value from over here. Also, there is the adaptive temperature. So if your device is going above 40 degrees, your battery's temperature is going above 40 degrees, then it will stop charging. So that will keep the device's heat a lot less. Even that you can customize from right here. So that is an insane, amazing feature in my opinion. Also, we have the last full charge when you did that. Then we have the screen on time right here. If you scroll down more, we have the design battery capacity, the current battery capacity, the charging cycle. Also, the battery temperature shows up right here. Now, my charging cycle has been really close to 600 cycles almost. So it's been a lot of cycles, but still I'm getting really good battery life in my opinion. As you can see from the screenshots, you can pretty much get about 6 to 6.5 hours of screen on time, I would say, with this particular ROM, and that should be really good enough with moderate to like normal usage. I would say you can get 6+ hours of screen on time over here. Also, the fast charging with a 33-watt fast charger is working fine here without any issues. Only thing which is missing in this battery settings is the thermal profiles. That is nowhere to be found in the UI. So I cannot set per app's thermal profile. That is a little weird thing in my opinion, that you don't get the thermal profiles in this particular ROM as of right now. And talking about the battery itself, I have been using this Accu battery app with this because I wanted to monitor some charging kind of things, and you can see all the usage stuff over here that I have used. And in the charging section, this is how it looks like. We have this charged option. You can see some data over here if you want to. And if you go into the health, this is how the battery's health actually looks like over here. And in the history, you can see all these usages if you want to. Jumping into the display settings, we have the brightness level, then we have the adaptive brightness. Now here we also get this one-shot auto brightness, where it will only detect the auto brightness, like it will only make the sensor work when you unlock the device. After that, it will stop. So even if the light changes around you, it will keep the device on the same brightness. So that is one feature that you can use. And in the lock screen, we have the battery level on bottom. Always show time and info is the always on display, and the ambient wake gesture, wake screen for notification and stuff. And we have the ambient music ticker and stuff, which is working totally fine. Let me go back. We have the screen timeout, then the dark theme, and the Android 12 kind of search bar is also there. Then if we scroll down more, we have this night light scheduling option. Then inside live display, we have this anti-flicker or de-dimming mode. Then the color calibrations are there. Picture adjustment is there, and we have the display mode also from here. Inside styles and wallpapers, we get these like themes over here, but you can of course change these themes if you want to. Let me scroll down. We have the rotation settings, and you can have the 180-degree rotation and stuff. Double tap to wake. Pocket detection, enable blurs option is there. Wake up on plug, you can disable or enable from right here. In the sound settings, this is how it looks like. And yes, I have changed these kind of toggle styles from the customizations. And if you scroll down more, we get the Mi sound enhancer, and with that, the sound quality can change, and you can have it on youth edition or something. The sound output via the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well is again amazing. No issues what I have had with the sound quality here. The call quality is great too again. And we have the preset option over here. Then we have the enable hi-fi option too. And talking about the call quality, again, VoLTE and Wi-Fi both should be working fine here. Even a Bluetooth device should work super fine. I have been using it with a Bluetooth device. Call quality via Bluetooth as well is great. And here, as you can see, this is how the in-call UI looks like, but there is no stock like call recording option over here. Also, talking about the screenshots, I just remembered because I'm not showing you all the customizations here. As you can see, this panel just like goes away whenever you are scrolling on it, and I can't simply tap on edit. Until that time when I tap it, it just goes away. So yeah, that is there. But again, the scrolling feature and the long screenshot options are there, and you can use it just like this. As you can see, once you like take all the screenshots, once you click done, it will save itself automatically, or you can edit and add like multiple things like these. You can mark up some things over here. So yeah, you can do whatever you like, and you can add text or something. So yeah, all these features are there, and you can just exit it without saving if you want to. So yeah, the long screenshots and stuff, everything is working fine. Inside security, we have this pixel imprint, then the screen lock option, and if you go into the settings, we have this fingerprint behavior. Now here we have this touch and press option, but I think this feature is for the devices which has side mounted fingerprint scanner or something, where the fingerprint scanner is in the power button itself, but this feature is actually showing up over here in this ROM on K20 Pro. But yeah, and we have the quick unlock, then the screen off fingerprint is also there. So let me actually show you, it is actually working. So if I turn off the always on display totally, so right now if I double tap, as you can see, the screen does not turn on because I have the always on display off. So right now if I tap the fingerprint scanner area, as you can see, it still unlocks. So yes, the screen of fingerprint is actually working super fine here. Now, as I have showed you the fingerprint scanner speed already, let's just set up the face unlock now. Let's click done, and right now I'm gonna just double tap over here to lock the device, and double tapping on the lock screen, I mean the always on display, to get into the lock screen. And if I swipe up, as you can see, it unlocks. So yes, you have to swipe up after double tapping on the always on display so that it uses the face unlock. And as you can see, again, it works super fine. So the face unlocking over here working totally fine, no issues with that. Talking about the AppLock, this is how the UI looks like of the AppLock, and you can lock any particular app from here. Also, you can hide their notification, and even if you tap on their notification, the app won't open. It will show you the app is locked. You have to tap the fingerprint scanner. So that is working fine, and we have this lock app instantly, 15 seconds and screen off option. And here if I open this lock tab, it will show like this, and it says use pin, or use your fingerprint scanner, or use your face data. So if I use my fingerprint scanner, as you can see, the app particularly unlocks. So yes, it is working super fine, no issues with that. The banking apps should be working fine here right out of the box. Also, I have flashed Magisk over here, and with Magisk Guide, my banking apps are totally working. I have had no issues. The SBI card, Google Pay, everything is working fine here. And as this ROM is based on the Android 11 firmware, my DRM info over here shows as L1. So you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p without any issues. Talking about the Google Assistant, let me show you. Hey Google. As you can see, the voice trigger is working totally fine. Let me try one more time. Okay Google. As you can see again, Google Assistant with the voice trigger is working perfectly. Now I have a couple of apps which are opened over here in the RAM, and as you can see, there is the recents panel. We have the screenshot option, then the select, and if you tap here, you can split screen and go to the pin app, the freeform option and stuff in the recents panel, and clear the apps from this here. Now first up, let's open Chrome, and yes, still in the RAM. And Facebook, yes, seems like it is still in memory. And the Twitter app, Twitter has been removed, I guess. Play Store is still in the RAM, and the YouTube app still in memory. And we have the Instagram. Okay, so it shows black screen, now it's reloading, I guess. Now it's back, and the Google Home app still in memory, and the Mi Home app, yes, still in memory. So most apps are staying in memory, I guess. So the RAM management should be decent in my opinion. And if you're wondering about the end-to-end Geekbench score, here are the end-to-end Geekbench score of this particular build, and with a CPU stress test of this particular ROM. So yes, some of the apps do get removed from memory, but that's totally fine. Maybe that will be improved in the future updates, because this is again the Android 11 firmware based ROM. So yes, the memory management may not be too great, but yes, it's decent enough. In my daily driving, I have had no issues with the RAM management here. And talking about the power menu, it still has this kind of looking power menu. It still has the background blur, and the smart home controls are still there, and this Google smart home lights are working totally fine. If you tap on advanced, you can directly reboot to the recovery or fast boot from right here. All these features are there. And if you're wondering about the reboot time, let me show you how fast it reboots. And it's done. It has rebooted. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Please share this video with your friends if you feel like. The Redmi K20 Pro on the latest EvolutionX ROM with September security patch is running great in my opinion, and the future updates will be making it a lot better experience. And only here you get the ANX camera working with the Android 11 format based ROM. On other Android 11 format based ROMs, the ANX camera is simply broken and it's almost not usable. So that makes this EvolutionX ROM a much better experience for the Redmi K20 Pro in my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.